Well, hello, today I'm going to be looking at Zombicide Black Plague, which is the sort of fantasy medieval version of the Zombicide game. Now, I'm not a massive fan of the original modern Zombicide, but for some reason the slight rule tweaks and also I guess the theme of Black Plague really appeals to me. So much so that I actually bought myself a copy, and this is actually a second-hand Kickstarter copy. And I've played it several times, really enjoy it. I'm going to be very keen to see how Massive Darkness compares. I still haven't managed to get Massive Darkness to the table enough yet to form a full opinion on it, but I have managed to play several games of Black Plague, and really looking forward to the, the Green Tide, I believe it is, the Kickstarter that's just recently finished. So anyway, let's get inside the box and have a look. Now, as we've come to expect from Cool Mini or Not and Guillotine Games, you get a nice little rule book, has a fairly decent summary on the back page. You then get a box full of minis, and then at the bottom you will get your tiles and stuff. So we've got some green bile, which you can set fire to, and some of the tiles have like a magic circle on the back, others have actually the flames for when you've lit the green bile. You also get a couple of kind of basement rooms, so you get a purple one, which is double-sided, and a kind of yellowish one, which is also double-sided. You get the double-sided tiles, as we've come to expect. Let me just get this out of the way, so these are easier to get out. So you have, your side with your 9 spaces. Now, what's slightly weird about this is the way the rooms, for example, this room is spread across 2 spaces, so you don't always get the perfect 9 spaces, which I don't remember if that was in the original Zombicide. It probably was, and I think there's 9 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There is an expansion, Wolfsburg, and I believe there are some extra tile sets as well. I'm not going to show you every single tile in this because there are several videos out already for this game. You've got your trapdoors and your kind of little objective markers, and there are a couple of little circly bits in there. You've got your doors and your noise tokens, and then of course your horrendous zombie spawning spots, including something new to this version of the game, Necromancer. Now, my friend, who's a bit more of an avid Zombicide fan than I am, he actually thinks that Black Plague combines a lot of the elements from some of the expansions to a classic modern era Zombicide, and I think it is a better game for that because they've actually added in some of the bits that improve the game. Anyway, let's get to the minis, which is what most people tend to be excited by, and I will just point out that obviously as a Kickstarter copy I got the little thanks for backing, and I've also printed out some summary sheets and some fan created scenarios, so I get to have extra fun with the game. Anyway, to the minis. So in the minis game box, normally you'd have a stack of cards here, but because I've sleeved them, I've popped in the dice, and I'm pleased to say it's just regular D6. If I remember correctly, the original Zombicide, a bit like Massive Darkness, has custom dice, and to be honest, I actually just prefer regular old dice. I can easily replace these. If I need multiple dice for multiple players, it's easy to do. You get some pegs for your player boards, and obviously matching colours for the bases for your heroes. Now, talking of that, the player boards are different. They're virtually the same as in Zombicide, but instead they are this nice plastic thing. These sliders, whilst they look pretty cool, are a bit of a pain. I would in some ways have preferred a series of peg holes, and that way you could move along. The actual sticky label seems to be deliberately dirty, so it looks like it needs cleaning, but I think that's actually in the printout. You've got some wound indicators, your various power levels, which when you put your character card actually in your tray, so you start off with the blue, then you get your yellow, then you get to pick an orange, and then you finally get to pick a red as well, and your spare tokens go up in the top. You can put a weapon or item in each hand, and of course you can also put stuff in your backpack, which there's 5 slots for, and then there's a little space for either armor or a special item that different characters can use. Now the basic game, if I remember correctly, comes with Nelly, Anne, Samson, Silas, Clovis and Baldric, and they are actually pretty decent set of characters, but obviously if you get the Kickstarter copy you do get some extras. So talking of the characters, so we've got, I believe that's Nelly, and then we have Silas, I think that is. And the minis, again, really good quality for a board game. You don't need to paint them. Is that Baldric or whatever, the wizard? Definitely not Gandalf, obviously. The crazy nun, Anne, I want to say. Then the beastly fighter, he's great, he is. What's he called? Klaus or whatever he is. And then the dwarf, who... fantastic guy. Now, underneath this top tray, there are basically duplicate figures, so I'm not going to really bother showing you all of them, but there are quite a few. So we've got the Necromancer, who's a new figure for a starting set. Abomination, who's really horrible. A female walker, a male walker, and then we've got some variations, so a female, a male, and another male. You get 2 types of fatties who are slightly harder to kill, and then 2 types of runners, basically one with and one without a hood. So if I lift this tray out just to show you just the sheer amount of plastic craziness, so you've got all those on the top sheet. But then underneath, oh dear, it looks like it's in shipping, got dislodged. Let's just quickly pop them back. So the poor little darlings, they will be uncomfortable if I don't fit them properly. Anyway, getting them back in the right slots can be a little bit of fun and games. Doesn't look like I've got them all in. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 12, 14 fatties. And runners, we've got about the same. And then walkers, we've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of them. So quite a few walkers. It is still possible with the base game, though, for every single zombie to come out if you're not careful. And then you're in trouble, because obviously the rules say if you can't place a figure, they get an extra activation. Now, if you're wondering how to fit them all in, if you look very, very carefully, there is on the side of the board a bit up the back here talking about the top tray, and then over on the right here a bit talking about the bottom tray. So hopefully you can get them all fitted back in. Normally I just chucked them in quickly, and as I say, I think a couple of figures aren't in quite the right place. So that's a lot of plastic. Anyway, let's have a look at the cards that I haven't shown you yet, because I've got them all sleeved. Now the cards, if you sleeve them, they don't quite fill up a Fantasy Flight mini board game sleeves box, but they do use them quite nicely and they do fit well. So you've got your starting equipment here with this kind of greyish blue back. So you get several short swords, for example, and it does actually tell you at the bottom they are starting equipment. So you've got this little icon here that tells you whether it makes a noise. It gives you a range, how many dice you roll, what you need to actually hit, how much damage it does, and then if you're using it to open a door, the result you need to break down the door, and again, whether it makes noise or not. And typically it does. At the top here, you've got a little icon which will help you work out whether you can dual wield weapons, which is really powerful. You've got various coloured little icons saying what level you need your character to be to actually use the item, and potentially how many hands it takes up. So anyway, let's dig these cards out and just give you a very quick overview. Okay, so the starter equipment, got a few short swords, a few hammers, oh, got another short sword, a mana blast, which is really useful, and a bow. Now, what's interesting is if you were to equip a short sword and a hammer, although they have this symbol, as far as I'm aware, you can't dual wield them. But if you have two short swords, then you can. Now, I do need to check that on the rules because, you know, potentially, I guess you could argue that you could dual wield those. But my reading of the rules are they've got to be matched symbols and matched items. So that might be me misreading the rules, but that's my impression of how that particularly works. Anyone with a bit more experience with the game, please do comment. You also get these blue-backed special cards, which are kind of relic items. They are improved versions. So, for example, Inferno, unlike the Mana Blast, actually rolls 4 dice hitting on 4+ and does 2 damage, which is really, really impressive. When you're exploring, you will also potentially randomly come across various items, and there's quite a few of them, as you can see. So torch, very useful for lighting dragon bile, but you do need to watch out because there are also ambush cards. So watch out for them. There are spells, healing, things that give you experience. Not sure why they don't heal you, but there you go. More spells, water gains you experience, more weapons, potentially slightly improved on the starting equipment, sometimes not. Lots of fancy other bits and pieces. Plenty of bolts, which are great for crossbows, and plenty of arrows, which are for bows. So quite a few bits there. So there's also armor, which I don't think we found. There you go. So a shield, for example. This is a great feature. Armor 4, so you get a 4+ save when you get bitten by a zombie, which can be a real lifesaver, quite literally. Then, in typical Zombicide fashion, you get your spawning cards, so you've got double spawns. Then you've got, like on a blue, nothing happens. On a yellow, you get 4 walkers. On an orange, you get 3 runners. And on a red, you get 2 runners. And there's loads and loads of those. Some of them might activate abominations. This, you get extra activations. So on blue, nothing happens. So obviously, it's very important when you're playing the game that you all level up together, because if just one of you upgrades to the yellow level, it counts as if all of you are on the yellow level from a zombie activation point of view. And there's quite a few double spawns, and there's also necromancer spawns as well. And that's basically the cards. Now, as you might be able to spot underneath, I've got the Huntsman pack, which came with the Kickstarter, which includes some extra cards. I've also got some expansions that I won't be showing you, but they give you extra activation cards. You get also some baddies who effectively count as necromancers, and they can do all sorts of horrible things to you. So let's actually have a look inside this box. Well, as part of my purchase of the second-hand copy, I got some extra cards which actually come from the next level up. I want to say Knight's Pledge, so I got Grin, I think it is, Gawain, and a couple of not Monty Python characters, and also this fella who I think is a sort of Ash character, I can't remember now. So they don't actually come in this base box that I've got here. But what you do get is a whole load of heroes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 extra characters. You also get some extra nasties. And underneath this tray of horrendousness, you get some kind of twisted princesses, some extra runners, some extra walkers. You get some wolves and a wolf abomination which appear in Wolfsburg, and of course you can't forget your fatties and your headless knights and the kind of bishops. Now there is meant to be a start player marker here which I am missing. I believe that is coming to me via the Green Horde Kickstarter though, so not too concerned about that. So what do you get from having all this? Well, you just get extra zombies, but also, of course, all these lovely starters. So you've got Hitch. Let's try and get that to focus. There you go. So Hitch, Lady Faye, Lucas, James, Morgan, Uxia, William, Gilbert, Falstaff, Paul, Danton, Bob, Evil Troy, Montablaine, Piper and Mortimer. And these are all in classic Cool Mini or Not familiar, so Labyrinth and obviously Name of the Rose, Merlin, Xena, William Wallacey type guy, Dracula, Monty Python characters. Anyway, loads and loads of really cool people in there, some of whom there are arguments as to who exactly they're meant to be or not. Some of them definitely much more obvious than others. So there you go, that is a look at the components. So let's just very quickly set up a very basic scenario with maybe 1 or 2 tiles and just talk about my opinion of the game. Well, welcome to my totally made up scenario where we've got 4 adventurers, Nellie, Anne, Silas and Baldric, and they are trying to escape out of this room here. They've got a spawn here that is currently active. This spawn here won't activate until the blue cross is basically collected. However, to actually open this door here, they need to have gathered the blue cross. Same with this door here. There is a couple of random artifacts. There is also a torch and dragon bar available in these rooms to help the adventurers out. Now the way the game works is you pick your first player, and I guess what we're going to do is we're going to go with this little token I've got here, put that on Nellie. She's going to be the first player, and then we'll go down the different adventurers. Now when you activate, you get 3 activations. Your activations can be to move, to search, to open a door, to reorganize or trade, to take a combat action, to enchant an item, or something similar, take or activate an objective, make some noise, or do nothing. And basically, if you do nothing, it flushes all your actions. Now, once you've done that, the zombies that are on the board activate, and basically they move. And if they're in a space with someone, they attack them. Runners get 2 actions, so they move and then they maybe move again. Once you've done all that, you then start all the spawning. So anyway, let's go with Nellie. So she's going to take her first action to move. Oh, that door's not actually open. Her second action is going to be to use her double hammers to smash that door open, which she does quite successfully. Now, because she's opened up a new area, we're going to spawn stuff. So the first action is going to be, what is it? Nothing in sight. So that's good. Her second room is going to be a runner. So there's a runner in this room here. So that's her free move. She single action to attack. Next action, move in and pick that up. So that's her done. Silas then, he's going to move, and then with his final action, he's going to create some noise by casting a spell and attack that runner, which he does successfully kill. So crowd control is very important in this game. Now at the moment, this is the noisiest spot. So these people here, they're all going to just move. So 1, 2, third action, they can move into here. So that's them all done. So that's all the adventurers done. So this spawn down at the bottom, which strictly speaking should be on the board. I just like to slide it off to the side. So what we've actually done here is, unfortunately, we have spawned a necromancer. So when you spawn a necromancer, you get a necromancer tile and add it to that particular location. You pop your necromancer on, and then instantly their particular spot spawns, and we spawned a fatty. Now fatties are a little bit harder to kill. In fact, I think at the moment none of the adventurers could actually kill a fatty. What he's going to do, he's going to try and run off the board here, and if he does, that's bad for us. Eventually, he could generate so many spawn points that basically we instantly lose the game. I think it's 6 spawn points. If I bother to check the rulebook, I'll be able to confirm that. Now, these guys are a menace, because as you can see, they've generated an extra spawn point. So I've now got 3 spawn points where previously I only had 2. There's something new to Zombicide Black Plague, and I think they add some nice little elements to the game. Anyway, these noise tokens are no longer relevant, so they can come off. So first player moves down to Anne and gets to go first. She, as her first action, is going to pick up whatever this artifact is. It's an orcish crossbow, which thankfully will allow me to kill that fatty. Her second and third action is going to be to move out here. We've activated the blue zone, so we do need to be aware that this spawn point is now going to work. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then do we want to go into this room? Yes, I think I'll have Nelly do a free move, 1 action, second action, yep. And that spawns something in that room. All standard fatties activate. So he moves forward 1. She's got an extra action, so she's going to move in there. And then 1, 2, he's also going to move in there. Okay, so now it's activation time. So all the zombies currently active move. We've then got 2 spawn points. So we've spawned another fatty. We've then spawned all standard walkers activate. So thankfully, nothing happens, and then the blue spawn point activates and we get just a solitary walker. Token no longer relevant, it can come off. Right, so we've got the blue key, so we can go in that special room. So let's have a look. Silas, I think, is going to go first. Silas does have a bow, which can't deal with a fatty, but can deal with the walker. But I think, yeah, he can go 1. He's then going to roll 2 dice because of his special skill against this walker, which kills him. He's actually got a special ability ranged attack. So that's 1, 2, third action, move back here. And then Nelly's going to just move into here. 1, 2. Sorry, it's not Nelly's turn. Baldric, he's going to open the door, which he just does, but it does spawn something in that room, which is a walker. So that's 1. He's then going to charge in 2. And for his final attack, rolled a sword, which kills the walker. So he's on 2 XP. So 1, 2, 3, he's done. So it's back round to Nelly. She's going to use her free move. Her second action, she's going to open up this, which is a spell. She's then going to trade it to Baldric for her final action. So Baldric now has a spell that can kill the fatty. So she moved in for free. Picked up for 2, traded for 3, that's her done. And then it's Anne. Now she could charge the fatty, but as I've already mentioned, she can't actually hit him. So she's going to move 1, 2, attempting to open this door, but I think we'll wait. Okay, so everything activates on the board. Then we do our spawning again. So we've got a runner. Oh, that's not good. We've spawned an abomination. Now, we can't kill him at all unless we get the dragon bile. So we've got major issues at this point. And then the final activation is the necromancer's spawn point, which is 2 walkers. So it's our go. So Baldric now has some opportunity to do something. So he could move out 1, 2. Then use his free spell attack to attack the fatty, which he does, and kills the fatty. But that does generate some noise here. And then for his third action, he's going to run and hide like a coward. Silas, he's going to step 1 forward. He's then going to shoot his melee attack at the necromancer, which thankfully kills that necromancer. So he gets an XP for that. So that's 1, 2. Third action, he's going to move back here. I've taken stuff out of turn, haven't I? So Nelly is actually going to open up this door, which we can do without creating any noise because we've got a key, but it does spawn a runner and a fatty. So a runner appears in the torch and a fatty appears on the dragon bile. So that's her first action. Her second action, which will be a free move. Her third action is going to be to hammer that walker, which she does. Oh, sorry, that runner, I should say. And then she's got one, one free move, two. She does have a third action, which is she's going to pick up the torch. Okay. Nelly, she will double move using her special melee attack charge. And no, she won't do that. She'll just single move. She will re-equip an orcish crossbow and then shoot for her final action. That would be better. So 2 dice, hitting on 3s. She's killed the fatty. It's very important, obviously, try and do things in the right order. Then Silas activates, which we've already done. Right, so everything moves towards the noise. Then we spawn. So we get, no one's leveled up yet. No, so we get a walker. Then the second spawn point, nothing. Then the blue is a double spawn. So that's going to double spawn next turn. Noise token's no longer relevant. We'll take it off. Okay, so now we're back round to Nelly. So Nelly is going to free move, pick up the dragon bile. That's 2. So that's first action. Second action. I think what she's going to do for her third action is to reorganise, so she's got the dragon bile and the torch. So let's just take care of that. Okay, so that's her done. I think Anne is going to search the room she's in, which is an ambush. Oh dear, some zombies have randomly appeared in the room. So one walker has appeared. So her second action is obviously going to be to kill that walker, which she does quite handily. Then her third action, she's going to risk another search. And she's found plenty of bolts, which will be very useful for her repeating crossbow. Orcish crossbow. Right, Silas is in a bit of trouble there, so he best kill those walkers, which he manages to kill one of them. So his second action kills the second one. And then his third action is to run and hide. Now, we want to encourage things to move next turn. So I think what we're going to do is make some noise to get everything to move into this square. And we'll try and have Nelly kick the door open and drop the dragon bile and set fire to it, killing everything. So that's probably going to be a good move. So at that point we'll stop. So nothing on the board activates. It can't see anything. So the necromancer spot spawns a runner. The regular spawn spawns nothing. Then the double spawn is a walker and 3 walkers. So 4 walkers in total appear here, and that double spawn has gone. Okay. Anne is now the player. So Anne is in the right room, so she's going to try and bash that door down, which she handily does, which does unfortunately make some noise in here. She has a bow that can kill that fatty, so I think she's going to use it. She successfully kills the fatty, so that's her second action. And her third action is going to be, I think, to move in here. Right, Silas then. Silas is going to go 1, 2, 3. Baldrick's going to do the same thing. And then Anne, she is going to basically drop some dragon bile here and set fire to it. Right, so when you drop the dragon bile, it goes down like that. When you set fire to it, you flip it over and it's now on fire. So that's her first action. Her second action is going to be to move here, and then she's going to re-equip her hammers. Right, so monsters activate. So these 2 move in here. These 2 move in here. So Nelly has just killed 5 XP because the abomination's worth 5 and 2 regular waters. So she gets 7 XP, which should be enough to trip her over into the next level up, which it does. I'm not sure why she's got all those wounds on. I obviously forgot to remove them. So she will now get an extra action. So that's good. She's now got 4 actions, and that's pretty much it. So spawn in time. A fatty. A war. Oh no, it's not a fatty. What is it? It's 2 walkers. I forgot we've just leveled up. So instead of spawning, where's it gone? Get the right card. Instead of spawning the fatty, now because we've leveled up, we're going to spawn 2 walkers. So the next thing that spawns is 2 runners, and then the blue activation zone gets 2 runners. So it's very important to try and keep your characters at the similar XP, because now the game's got a lot harder, but you know, not all of the characters are fully tooled up. Anyway, it's Silas's turn. This is gone and this is gone. So we need to get across into this room as quickly as possible. So Silas can go 1, 2, and then he's going to get munched. So I think he's going to just go 1, do a search, gets himself an axe, and I think he's going to do another search, which gets himself some dragon bile. So if we only had a torch. Right, Baldric goes next, so he's going to search the room he's in. He gets a Death Strike spell, which is much better than his Mana Blast, so he's going to replace that for his second action, and he is also going to move there. Then Anne and Nelly are going to move in. So zombies mill around, not really being able to see much, don't do anything. We then spawn another abomination. We're getting a bit unlucky with these spawns. Then 4 walkers, so 1, 2, I need 2 more out of my box. 1, 2, where have they gone? I've moved everything around, I can't get to my zombies. Right, so we're going to have 4 walkers. 1, 2, 3, 4. So getting a little bit busy. Then finally a fatty. Okay, time moves on. Now we've got major issues. Can we get out of here? So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. So Baldric is going to move 1. He's going to create some noise here by using his free attack on there. So 4, 5 dice. 1, 2. Sorry, killed off 2 people. 1, 2. So that's 1, 2. His second action. So yeah, 1 free action. So second action, he'll attack again, making 2 more noises. Kills off these 2 guys, which levels him up. Which leaves him 1 final option, which he might as well make some more noise and attack this guy here, who he also kills. Okay, so he's made a load of noise. Things are going to be running towards him pretty quickly. So Nelly goes next. So Nelly moves here for free move. So her first action is to break open the door. I assume she does. Let me just check. Yes, she does, which also creates some noise here. But it does sadly spawn in these rooms. So Necromancer. So the Necromancer appears again, which is very, very unfortunate. So that's then going to spawn 3 walkers with him. Okay, so that was free move, kick open the door. Her second move then is going to be to move in, and then her final option is to attack. And she kills 1 of the walkers. She's got an extra activation, so she's going to attack again, which also kills 1 of the walkers. Right, dearie me. Right, and then she's got a charge attack, so she's going to charge for 1. She's then going to attack, which kills both of these guys off. 1, 2. She's then What's she going to do? She's then going to search for her final action, which is some more Dragon Bile. So we've got lots of Dragon Bile now, so that's good. We just need a torch. Okay. Actually, can my spell set fire to Dragon Bile? I would have thought it should, but it doesn't actually say whether you can or not. Okay, so Silas, he gets one move. He can then shoot. Yeah, okay, so we're going to be potentially sacrificing Baldric. So he's going to move in and do a search, which gets a dagger. And then for his third action, he's going to pass that to Anne, who, as part of her reorganisation, she will trade the Orcish crossbow back to Silas. Am I cheating there? I might be. So there you go. Yes, she will keep the Orcish crossbow and do that. Okay. Right, so that's me all gone. So everything activates. So the runners, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. This all moves in towards the noise. This moves in towards the noise. And I think Baldric's for it. So yes, poor old Baldric's likely to die a horrible, horrible death, isn't he? So let me just quickly check the rules on that. Okay, my reading is because they've just moved in, they don't actually bite him. They will bite him if they're still here at the end of the turn. So that might allow Baldric to somehow escape. So Nelly, she gets a free move. So what she could do, she could move in, but then the chance of her moving away is going to be pretty tricky. So I think she's going to do a search. She's found a shield. So for her second action, she's going to actually just stow that somewhere. She's going to do another search. Oh, no, actually, I think you can only do one search a turn. Let me check. Yeah, it's one activation per survivor, so she can't do a search. So she's going to move and run away. So she's escaped. And she's going to do her charge attack. She's got 2 short swords, and she also gets an extra die when using a dagger. So she kills 2 runners off. So she levels up. Okay, so that was her first action. Her second action is she's going to attack again, kills the final 2 off. So that's 1, 2 actions. She's got 2 actions left, so she's going to go 1, 2, but she can't escape. Silas, he's going to move out for 1. He's then going to shoot his bow, which kills off 2 regular walkers. So he's close to leveling up. So that's 1, 2. His third action, I think, then will be to cower in fear. Baldric is now free to run away. But I think what he's going to do is he's going to create some noise. And he's going to actually... 1, 2, 3, 4. He's actually going to attack the spot with the abomination. He kills all 4... all 4 walkers, so he's doing quite well. So that's 1, actually, because he used 2 spells. So that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so monsters activate. Then we do the spawn. I think we can now run away. So all standard runners activate. There are none, so that's good. Double spawn, so we won't need to worry about that because we'll be running away. And then the final spawn is a fatty. This is no longer relevant. Back to the human players. Run away, run away, run away. We win by the skin of our teeth. Anyway, hopefully you didn't make too many rules errors there. Hopefully gave you an idea and hopefully you could keep up. So just to remind you, pick a first player, activate the heroes in clockwise order. You get 3 activations. When you level up, typically you get 1 extra activation. Your activations can be to move, to search, only once per survivor, open a door, reorganise your equipment or do a trade, and you can reorganise as part of that trade. take a combat action which can be melee, magical or ranged, pick up an objective or enchant an item, just randomly make noise to draw people in or do nothing. Now you can see how close that game was. We almost lost our heroes there because if we hadn't managed to clear out this space here, Baldric wouldn't have got away. And depending on the scenario, it might be all survivors have to escape or just one survivor has to escape. Anyway, that's the end of my made up scenario. As you can see, it's quite good fun. It can be quite challenging. Fairly simple set of rules, very much a beer and pretzel sort of game. But I really enjoy it. The theme, the artistic look, the fantastic miniatures. You know, just a great game. I hope you enjoyed that playthrough. Any errors, please leave comments so we can correct that for people who might be trying to use this video to learn the rules. Anyway, that concludes my base set of Zombicide Black Plague. Expect some more videos if I start talking about the expansions and the new Green Horde expansion that's going to be winging its way to me at some stage in the future. And I should point out that the Green Horde is a standalone game or an expansion to Black Plague. So if you've not got Black Plague, you can just pick up Green Horde or Green Tide when it actually comes out. It's currently still in shipping, I believe, and I'm looking forward to seeing just how much stuff the Kickstarter has for me when it arrives. Anyway, that concludes the video. Till the next one, hope you have some good games.